First of all, to access the actual menus that we're going to use in this tutorial, we're just going to actually press the N key and we're going to select the view on our N key. So let's begin. Hi Blender fans, so you've finally made your first scene in Blender, but what you want to do is now show this off to your friends. How do you make that simple turntable so you can actually show your creation off? I've got one of the actual simplest ways I think to do this, and what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to actually, every default scene seems to have a camera, so we're just going to position our camera first off. So looking through our camera, the 0 key, as you can see, 0 key, we're now looking through the camera's perspective. Let's see, just make this like that. By hitting this, we're actually now looking through the camera view. This will allow you to actually position your camera like so, in or out, wherever you wish to actually position it, and pressing the actual left shift button and holding the middle mouse wheel down will allow you to actually move it to exactly where you want your turntable to actually rest. So now it's rested there, what I'm going to do is actually click on this because I don't want to alter this view anymore, and as you can see it's now fixed because this here is the actual camera viewport. I'm now going to add in a empty, and the empty I'm going to use is this sphere. The reason I'm using a sphere is because I'm just going to scale it up and make it nice and big, just so we can see it a little better. So we're now looking through our camera, we've got our sphere, so all we need to do is now parent our camera, once we find it again, parent our camera to the empty here, so it's like the actual camera is the little child holding the hand of this circle, of the sphere. So select the camera, then select the sphere, which is the empty, and then right click, and then what we're going to do is actually go down here to parent and parent object, like so. So now we've actually parented our object. If we now move, select the empty, whoops daisy. If we actually move the empty, as you can see, our camera now moves. Control Z, as usual, will actually undo things. If you're in modeling, I would suggest that you actually go into your layout tab, because what your layout tab does is it actually shows the actual timeline here, which will be very useful for this circular animation or turntable. Pressing the 0 key, we're actually looking through the front, and what we're going to do is now go onto the object properties. As you can see, we've got this Z key here. Just hovering over this, pressing I will set a keyframe, and then if we press the shift key and the left click, it'll take us to frame 250. Alternatively, you can just type 250 into here, which will take you to the end frame. As you can see, this is 0 set to 0, and if we wanted to make this spin round 360 degrees, we'd put 360. If you want it to actually go twice round, you'd make it 720, and so on and so on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to 360 degrees, press the I key, which then will set a keyframe. So if we actually just look at our animation quickly, so pressing the space bar, as you can see, this seems to set off slowly, and it gets a little bit faster as it goes along. So what will happen in your animation is it'll start off slow, and then it will finish off slow at the end again, which might not be the actual effect that you want from your animation. Just stop it there, and I'm just going to take it back to frame 1 by pressing shift and left clicking my arrow. But the other thing we've actually got here is, because this is actually not moving linear, we want to change this to linear. So click on animation, just put it back there, put it to animation, rendered mode. And what we've got here is we've got key, and we've got a thing called interpolation mode, and you've got constant, linear, breezer. So if we actually set this to linear, then go back into our animation, selecting our empty, And as you can see, we're not looking through our camera, so press the 0 to look through our camera. As you can see, it starts off at full speed, and this will record our turntable when we actually save it to file. Right, saving it to file, that's quite simple. What we do is we go into the thing that looks a bit like a printer, click on the printer. What you want to do is actually set this to FFmpeg, and then hit this here, which actually just looks like the actual folder, and then you can actually set it to wherever you wish to save your animation. Call it whatever you wish. In fact, I call it EEVE 5 point, because this is the 5th time I've actually rendered this. And what I'm going to do is put accept, and then just to actually render this out, all we have to do is now go into, scroll across here, go into render, and then render the animation, which I'm going to do now, and I'll show you the results at the end of this. So render animation. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you like my content, press the like button and of course subscribe.